Hey there, it's Trisha with Easy E-mini Trade, and I want to show you some breakout and breakdown trades from today, September 25th. This works pre-market as well. If any of you are struggling with this, I can do some private training sessions. Just shoot me an email and I can talk to you about it. It's very reasonably priced. It's really simple once you get the concept. And also, the webinar recording from last week's webinar on breakdowns and breakouts is available, and you can just go to my site easyeMinitrade.com and you'll see it there. It goes in extreme detail on how you can do this, so it's really easy once you grasp the concept. So let me show you some from today. So I'll start out with 6E. This is this morning pre-market. I'll look at it on a 5-minute chart. You don't have to take your entry off the time-based chart. You can take it off anything that you want, but I'm looking for topping tails and bottoming tails, and you can find them on a 15-minute or a 30-minute or 60-minute as well. So what we want is we want to see a big topping tail. So here's one here on the 5-minute right here, and this was established pre-market at like 3 something this morning. You get one here. I wasn't trading at this time, so I would never obviously have been up to try this as a breakout above that. Key also is that you have to have some volume in the market, so as long as there's enough volume, then you can get away with it. But I'm looking above this topping tail right here at 510, and then you can see on the 15-minute, there it is as well. So what I want to see is I want to see if I have enough volume above the area there. So if this were at that time, as it was breaking out, I would not have the volume there above me, likely because it was into the high of the day. So I want to look back to the last time we traded there. So I'm going to scrunch this up and just see where above this bar, where I have this topping tail, where the volume starts again. So you can see the next high volume area would be up there around 560, and then it goes up to about 605. And I'm just looking over here where we have these volume clusters. So I could use 560 as a target area, and then if it gets through there, then I'd be looking at 605, and then I can see this area here at 660. So you take it, you put your buy-in up, there around a couple ticks above that, like 515, 520, and then you can see, it goes pretty well, obviously, and manages to trade up through that area where we had that last high volume area that we marked at 660. Also, don't forget to look at it on a daily chart, and you can see where the areas of support and resistance are established on that as well, and see where price might get stuck. So it all comes down to where are the high volume areas above us or below us, and do we have enough room to attempt it? And I'm not going to go into why we're interested in taking these. Just watch the webinar, or I'll try to do a workshop or something in the next week or two if anybody wants more info on it. But the webinar, I promise you, will walk you through everything step by step. NQ here this morning was pretty sideways. We had this topping tail here on the 5-minute, and at the time, this is all we could see on the 15-minute chart. This was at what time? I'll tell you. And there's news at 10, so I don't trade into news. That's just my personal preference. So I usually sit on my hands about 10, 15 minutes beforehand. So I have to pass on that. But regardless, there's your topping tail. And we want to see the body of the candle in the way of a topping tail. We want to see the body of the candle push toward the bottom of the candle. Or if it's a bottoming tail, we want to see the body of the candle pushed up toward the top of the bar. So if you're okay to take this, we want to see where are the next high volume areas above us. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrunch this up a bit so we can see, looking at the 15, what's above us. So we can see the next area of high volume. Basically, we have some right here at 81.25. Then we have up here at 87.75, and then up here at 97.25. Now, if I was taking this, I would not ignore the fact that we have this tail up here into that 200 period moving average at 79.60. So if I was to take this at 75.50, I would be aware of this area, even though it's pre-market. This was not pre-market, but I would be aware of that area that held there around that 79 spot. So you probably have about, maybe 4 points worth of space, because that's a 79.50. So about 4 points worth of space if it gets stuck there. So, if you take it into news, it looks like it works out. It actually trades up to that next high volume area. So it works out fine. Now, when you're going sideways, you can see you have like this tail here on the 5 minute, but in looking at the area to our left, we have a bunch of congestion. So that's not an area likely that you're going to try a breakdown. If you want to try it, just look at the areas that last held and determine if you have enough space or not to attempt the trade. If you do, then you take it. If you don't, then pass on it. So obviously we're sideways, right? If you get another topping tail or bottoming tail, as long as you've got room up to resistance or down to support, then you can take it. And like I said, you can look at it on a 30 minute, a 60 minute, etc. You can see here that you do get this tail area here, right here, and this was at what time? That was right into news. So you can mark it if you want. Preferably, you'd like to see more of the body of the candle toward the bottom of the actual candle. But, as long as you have room, you can be aggressive with some of those, just decide on your own, what you're willing to do. Here you get a big bottoming tail here. This is ideal, actually. You can see the body of the candle pushed up toward the top of the candle. So we want to look at this and get an idea of, so let's just make it to where we can see only what's coming in the way of volume without looking ahead. So if I scrunch this up, I want to see the volume areas below this area. I'd be taking that at 58. So if I look below that 58, next area would be down here. Let's say, where are we here? So there's 57. So down here around 52. We've got the floor trader pivot point there at 53. So it's right in the same area. That's 52.75. So we can use that as our target. But looking at the higher time frame, we can see that that's where our higher volume area is. And so we can use that as our target area. So you would determine if I get in under 58 at 57.75, I have around 52 and change below me. So that's a good 5 points worth of space. And then obviously if it keeps going, then great, you got more than you bargained for. A little bit later, I wasn't trading at this time, but if you wanted to take it above that topping tail here from this morning, or even above here off the open bar, again, it's not ideal because the candle's not pushed all the way down, but if you want to try it, as long as you've got openings in the volume areas above you, then you can give it a shot. And you can see that it does go on to work out. YM, at the same time we took the breakdown on the NQ, I missed this on YM because it was right around the same time. But you can see on the 5 minute we have this big bottoming tail here, and this is at, again, into news is when it happened, but it wouldn't have triggered until well after news, so I'd be okay to take that. And so you can see big bottoming tail, and that would be at 6:02. So I'm just going to draw a line so you can see where that is over here on the 5 minute chart. So you can see it falls in line with that bottoming tail as well. So if you took it, you didn't get very much out of it, maybe 10 ticks or so. And then we wind up with another bottoming tail here around 93 on the 15 minute. So you take that, and your next target area would be down around yesterday's low of the day. Now, if you open this up, you can see here, looking back at yesterday, we had this big bottoming tail at the low of the day from yesterday. So anytime you take a short or a long into the low of the day, obviously the previous day or high of the day or close, you can get some reaction. But if you miss the opportunities at 6:02 or 5:93, then you could look under that 577 area, and it does actually work out. You'll see that you would have gotten in right around here. Let's just mark it. Where is it? 577, right around there, and drops lower before it completely retraces. So any of those worked on YM. And again, looking to the left here, you don't have any volume built up in that area. So that's it in a nutshell. And again, they're working out really well pre-market. Just pay attention to those high volume areas and the actual volume that you have coming in, because you do need some momentum. They work well if you have a strong direction. And if you're going sideways, you just need to pay particular attention to where the areas of support and resistance are that are forming. Okay, so I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll chat with you soon. Take care, you guys.